Well, we got to get out of here, though, Tim. I mean, the first half hour just flew by like nothing. We got to get out of here, take bottom of the hour break, rather. When we come back, more Tim Shaw. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
Northern Tool and Equipment.
So Daddy's little girl thinks she's going to prom tonight with some punk who calls himself Snake.
Yeah, they grow up so fast.
Well, not if I can help it, they don't.
Okay, here's what you do. When that kid shows up, Dad's going to be doing a few chores around the house.
Huh?
It doesn't matter the chore. What's important is that it requires the use of a 60cc gas-powered chainsaw and possibly a mask.
I think it's showtime.
He's here. Dad, I want you to meet...
All right, let her rip.
What's that, honey? Hi, Snake. Great to meet you. But wait, where are you going?
There's no problem a little horsepower can't solve. Northern Tool and Equipment.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location.
My backyard.
Oh, your backyard. Try telling a bear that.
I did, and this bear talked back.
Talking bear, that's rich.
No, wait, it was Smokey Bear.
Smokey. Why didn't you say so?
I did say so.
Continue.
I was burning yard waste.
No, boy.
He told me to burn legally and responsibly, and to remember that if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
And as always, he's right. You know, 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Yeah, I know that now.
Thanks to me.
Actually, thanks to Smokey.
As usual, the talking bear gets all the credit. Get your Smokey on. Always burn responsibly and contact your local fire department for open burning regulations. Because 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to After Hours AM, everybody. I'm your host, Joel Sturgis, right along with me,
Eric Olson.
And tonight we're talking to Reverend Tim Shaw. I've known Reverend Tim Shaw, boy, for a long time. Years, Tim. It's been years. And it's been a lot of fun getting to know you.
You know how it was? We used to ride our Harleys together, and then the little old ladies over in the supermarket. You know how it is. I remember that's the way it was back in the day when we had hair.
When I had hair, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a lot of years since I had hair. Yeah, it's horrible. Now, one thing that you and I have talked about off air, and that's old school versus new school paranormal investigation, and I'm kind of an old school guy. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of that analog old guard. What do you think about these newfangled things these kids are using these days? No, I'm kidding. How do you feel about the new stuff?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I question a lot of it. I really do. That stick figure thing is sort of kind of iffy because it's kind of designed for gamers, and I don't know. I'm not sure how that is, but I will tell you one thing. We did use it in conjunction with a REM pod, and we had this small stick figure kind of walk into a room, and it reached out, and that REM pod screamed. I mean, it screamed. That's the only time that I've ever seen anything like that happen. So for me, the jury's still out. Now all the radios and squawk boxes, I've got, oh my God, I've got 6 of them. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just not hearing it right.
Yeah.
But only once, and I recorded it, only once did I have something come through. And it was in the winter time, and I was down in the basement doing the laundry. I was folding laundry, and what I do in my retirement, I do laundry and listen to, spirit boxes while I do it.
White noise while you're sitting there, yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, I got "You Will Scream," and it felt like, it sounded like it was below the frequency. I went, I'm going to scream, so I threw a recorder on immediately. And I had probably about a 15-second exchange where it was in real time, and it almost, I would say, it started off strong, and then it just kind of fizzled out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was neat, but too many people matrix it. I mean, they're in a heightened sense of emotional sense, and all of a sudden they hear, and they go, "Oh my God, they're calling my name! I didn't know your name, but you know what I mean?" It's like, come on, guys, come on, you know, you got to really, you know, listen to this thing. And I mean, of course, the best one was I was in the David Stewart farm. I was in the in the barn, and that's a field hospital on the Confederate retreat out of Gettysburg, and I love Gettysburg. I'm down there a lot. And I walked into the barn, and they had one of them going. And I said to this guy, I said, anything going on? And he said, geez, no, I don't have anything going on at all. And the thing came out. First thing, it called me a derogatory name for a homosexual. And I mean, it was clear. It was that clear. And I mean, everybody just took their breath. And then it called me something else. It swore at me again. And again, a second time, it was clear again. And I said, hey, listen, you want to communicate, you got to be civil. I'm not one of your thrill seekers here. Yeah. And you know what? It never said another thing the rest of the night. And so it's either A or, you know, I mean, these were like super clear. You know, everybody there heard it. It was very, very super clear. We were having a seance up at the Bergen House in Bergen, New York. And it came, there's a lot of intense history up there. And this thing called me a name and gave me a good name and a good FU, and I just started laughing at it, you know, which people started freaking because they don't really want you to laugh at it. You know, they're afraid of it. Yeah. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Matter of fact, there was a haunted object there, a small Harlequin clown doll. And I don't know how many paranormal investigators said the arms move and they get crazy EVPs. And a matter of fact, a psychic from Oklahoma called somebody that was up there and said that the doll was afraid.
The doll was afraid?
Yeah, she said the doll was afraid. Well, the lady that owns the house said her granddaughter is so afraid of this thing she was going to burn the doll. And we were up there filming for Within These Walls on VidiSpace, and I do the camera work for a show, and the host of the show said, "Don't throw it out, give it to Tim. He'll take it.
He'll take anything. Just give it to him."
I had it. Now you got to picture this. You're in the middle of a swamp. I mean, it's surrounded by a primordial swamp. And it's pitch black out, and I am driving home by myself with this little Harlequin seat belted in next to me.
you know, Tim, one thing I talked to a lot of people about the new stuff that they have out there for paranormal investigation, and the same thing comes back every time. How is it evidence, though? You know, I mean, just because you get the voice, where's the evidence? It just doesn't seem to be evidence-driven anymore like it once was.
No, I think it's more thrill ride. Mm-hmm. Now, when you guys remember the day when we're going to go to a public hunt. Everybody had to have at least a flashlight and a tape recorder. Everybody had to have something like that. And, you know, people would try different experiments and stuff. Now, public hunts are... Nobody has anything. You've got to sit there like a trained monkey and dance around, and you know, and people they bitch because of the fact that you're not producing. Yeah. Well, that's not what this is all about. This is, if you want something like that, go to a haunted house in the fall. This is something that we are trying to go and get some kind of response to. We're trying to get some kind of two-way communication. And you have to break it down to what you want out of this. I don't know how many times I've told paranormal investigators, listen, guys, you're not, you know, you guys don't have your eyes on the prize here, man. You got to, you know, the whole idea is to try to go and get some kind of evidence, some kind of just this little
something glow. Tangible.
Yeah, that there's something on the other side. There's more to, you know, existence than what we see right here. Mm-hmm. And that's not what they want. They want to be afraid. They want to see that shadow person, you know, walk across there and they can pee themselves, you know. Yeah. We were up at, Waverly, I forget how many years ago, and there was something black that just started swallowing up the corridor. And I got to stand in there looking at it, and this thing started coming at us really slow, and it was moving in a clockwise, like little clockwise motion, and it swallowed up one of the metal moldings on one of the doors. And I'll be honest with you, that was amazing to me, because I don't know what it was. It didn't seem to be intelligent, but it was coming towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, there was about 5 or 6 people around me. We all saw it. Now we have something. Now it's a personal experience. I can't, but it can be corroborated. The problem is that so many people aren't looking for that. So many people want something to they can amaze their friends and scare their relatives.
Well, I think you're exactly right about the influence of haunted attractions, because they are so predictable. I mean, you're going to be frightened, you're going to be terrified. It's going to be very regular. There's almost there's a rhythm to them, and if you're in a real quote unquote haunted house as opposed to a haunted attraction, there's no rhythm to anything. Things are going to happen at their own speed. Things may or may not be there, and even if things are there, as you know so well as a medium, you got this whole spectrum of receptivity that people have. Some people aren't going to see anything if there are 100 spirits dancing on his nose. They're not going to see it. And other people are going to pick up on everything.
And that's what I always thought paranormal investigation with modern accoutrements should be. It should be to be able, for you to be able to go and try to bring this little bit, this shred of evidence to someone who isn't trained to do it. Mm-hmm. Someone who has never experienced it. Let them say, "Oh, well, that's really pretty interesting." But again, I think. Listen, I love TV just like everybody else, and I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but people have to understand that it is entertainment, and that when you go out, it can't always be like that. Mm-hmm. And you have to, there's 3 different types of people that go out there. There are believers, there are non-believers, and then those are the people that are on the fence. And what you should be doing is trying to go and bring a little bit of evidence for those people on the fence to kind of go and just say, hey, there might be something more out there.
Sure.
And non-believers, for the most part, I mean, I love them too, because they have an important part. They play a great part in what we do, because they keep everybody honest, or else we're going to go back into the golden age of fraud, where Houdini's out there and exposing everybody.
Fox Sisters 2.0. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And hey, as a spiritualist, I respect the story. I know, I go out to the site, a couple times a year to pay my respects. But do I believe everything that has been written by them? Or I should say about them? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And you have to be able to go. And again, I have seen and I've experienced some really crazy stuff in my life. Most of it through the spiritualist, the auspices of the spiritualist religion. But I grew up back in the 70s when there were still a lot of the Sideshow Carney reverends out there that used the billet tricks and had Confederates that would listen in on conversations and inform them of who's hoping to hear from whoever. I remember those days, and so. That's where we all have to be so careful about, and I think that paranormal investigators as a whole, it's great to know it's great to know all about the equipment, but it's also they're kind of missing the whole boat, the whole idea of why we're doing it, and that's what's important, Mm-hmm. And of course, I've been blessed. I've been on TV a few times, and that's pretty cool, And but I mean, people are really pushing to be on TV for shows, and that's not what it's all about. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Well,
but
Tim,
you should get intrinsic.
But why do you do it? What drives you?
My religion has always driven me. It always has. I have a fascination with my religion. I have a fascination with religions, and that's part of what keeps me going. I enjoy it for the simple fact that I go out there and I feel that sometimes if we do find